Ultamize. If you still think of yourself primarily as a motivational speaker, you're limiting your potential because a speaker is dependent on being booked. A media company is not. That distinction changes everything. A speaker waits for opportunities. A media company creates them. A speaker delivers a message once. A media company delivers it repeatedly. A speaker is constrained by time and location. A media company operates continuously everywhere. That is the shift you need to make. You're not in the speaking business, you're in the communication business. And communication today happens across platforms, formats, and time zones simultaneously. Now, this does not mean you need a large team. In fact, all you really need is a cell phone. If you have a cell phone, you have a TV studio, an editing facility, a radio network, a printing press. You have everything you need if you have a cell phone. Obviously, you can get fancier, but it's not particularly capital intensive. It does not mean you need a studio with dozens of employees. It means you adapt a different mindset. Instead of asking, how do I get more speaking gigs? You ask, how do I distribute my ideas consistently? Because once your ideas are consistently in the market, everything else becomes easier. Speaking, courses, partnerships, all of it becomes easier. Now, let's make this practical. A traditional speaker creates one keynote. A media driven speaker creates a core idea. That core idea becomes a podcast episode. The episode becomes a video. The video becomes clips. Those clips get distributed. The same idea reaches people multiple times in multiple formats. That is leverage. And leverage is what allows you to grow without consistently increasing your workload. Now, there is a common objection here. I don't want to be a full time content creator. Good. You don't have to. You don't need to. It's not about becoming something different. It's about using your existing strength more effectively. You already know how to communicate. You already know how to explain ideas. You already know how to connect with an audience. Now you're simply doing it more often and in more places. That is the adjustment. But there's also a reality you need to accept. If you tell yourself, I just want to speak on stage, I don't want to deal with video or podcast or building an audience, you're making your path much harder. Not impossible, but harder because the market is moving in one direction and you're choosing to move in another. That's not strategy, that's resistance. You do not need to master every tool. You don't need to spend years building a massive following before you begin. But you do need to participate in the system that creates visibility because visibility creates opportunity. Now, here's the most important part. Once you begin to think like a media company, your behavior changes. You start thinking in terms of output, consistency, distribution. You stop overthinking individual performances. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You start building momentum. And momentum is what drives growth. Over time, your body of work becomes your biggest asset, not a single speech, not a single event, but the accumulation of everything you've created. That's what people see. That's what people trust. That's what people buy into. So the identity shift is simple but powerful. You're not just a speaker, you're a media company that speaks. And once you operate that way, the entire business becomes more scalable, more predictable, and far more powerful. If you would like a free pass to one of my online communication skills courses, just go to ultimize.com and sign up for a free course today to take this to the next level.